Hi guys,
Hey guys,
welcome back to the Girly Hour.
where we solve the world's problems from our couch.
I'm Emma,
And I'm Shannon.
and today we're going to be solving turning 30.
Yes.
So, as you guys know, we are in our 30s. I think a lot of our listeners are too.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just so excited because we feel like the 30s have been amazing to us so far.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, but first,
Yes.
I need everybody's help on this.
Yes.
Okay, so Shannon, as we have talked your ear off about, is moving out in March.
I'm leaving.
It's really sad because...
Oh, first of all, we are filming this. This is our first filming of the Girly Hour. We're just filming it on my phone, and we are filming it from my bedroom.
Yeah.
So we're not on a couch.
No.
Same vibe, though.
Solving problems from the bed.
Shannon's bedroom.
Shannon's bedroom.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Which will soon be maybe our studio after I move out.
Maybe. How fun.
Yeah.
So when Shannon leaves, I'm not going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, I'm going on a vacation and I'm going to be coming back to an empty, sad house. I'll probably shed some tears, but...
I already told her that I will be here when she returns, so it's not super weird. Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll just be Shannon sitting in her empty room.
Just waiting for you to come home.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll scare you probably.
Oh my god. Yes. So I have been deep diving on Pinterest.
Yes.
I need help from everybody involved. I'm trying to figure out what I like style-wise, because I want to try to decorate things. And Shannon's your suggestion was to start with your bedroom.
Yes. I think that would be an easy one. It's not going to be in your way. You can take your time with it.
Yeah, it'll be empty.
You just close the door if it's like not done and bothering you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm so avoidant. So
yeah.
She
first was like, I'm going to do a bathroom. And I was like, maybe try the bedroom. Because bathrooms are tricky to paint.
Yeah.
They're
lots of taping.
Yeah, and like once you start, you kind of have to finish because it's something that you use every day. So yeah, you're gonna start with this bedroom. So I suggested Pinterest. I don't think you ever had Pinterest.
No, so I'm not a Pinterest girly. I didn't really know how to use it. Like I know you pin things, but I'm like, what are we pinning? Like what's
right?
How do we put that into action? What's it for? Like sure, I can pin a bunch of shit, but like what do I do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I like, to be quite honest. I look at a bunch of stuff and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I don't know what my personal style is, I guess.
Right. We nailed your color analysis and your closet, but now we need to do your house and your like decor and the vibe you want your house to be.
Yeah. And so naturally I'm on TikTok, and
naturally
my TikTok feed is just full of house like renovations, just full of it. Bathrooms, bedrooms, full house, you name it. It's just full of it. So yeah, I'm trying to get some ideas from there, but also it kind of makes me paralyzed because I'm like, oh, this looks like a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna help you, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she has figured out, I think you got some palettes.
I'm thinking I like the moody thing.
Yeah, she kind of likes dark, moody, maybe like dark academia. That could be something that you could like search.
Yeah.
And then get the vibe. So then the next step is to like, I don't know, I'm not an expert, but like the next step for me is that I then type in, like once I get the vibe that I want, I type in the vibe into Pinterest, but I'll put like dark academia bathroom.
Right. And then so that really helped me because I had looked at a bunch of stuff on Pinterest and I was like, ooh, I like these dark moody rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but how do I get this? What do I do? And you were like, okay, now search the room
right
that you want to do.
And then you'll get rooms that have like the color palette you're looking for and kind of like, then you see what kind of furniture, what decorations look good.
Yeah. And we're not trying to break the bank here. I'm trying to use what I have.
Yeah.
If you guys saw my bedroom right now, it is it's a mishmash.
Yeah, I think like over the years of you moving and decorating rooms, you just sort of have collected different vibey furniture, and now it just does not all go together.
Yeah, but we discussed, because I do have like a dark dresser. I
Mhm.
have a dark little bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
And then my nightstands are a dark top with like the white bottom, which could be changed anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
that would all go together in one room.
Yes. Yeah. So we're getting there, but this has consumed us.
Yeah.
Like I've been consumed by, like, if you could see my wall over here, it's just got a bunch of pink paint chips all up and down it, just trying to decide what color I'm gonna paint everything in my house.
Yeah.
And then I got really overwhelmed, so now I'm going to not paint it before I move in. Probably do my bedrooms, but then I'm just gonna like slowly do like bathrooms and then the main room. And plus I like having projects, and I feel like if I rush and paint everything before, like, then I'm kind of stealing like the chance of like later coming up with ideas, and maybe I wanted a different color, or like it's just fun to like start a project, like a bathroom. You start it and then you finish it and then you see the ending. It's nice. So yeah, that's how I'm rationalizing that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be having a lot of paint parties.
Exactly.
So friends who are listening, you're going to be invited to our house, and then we're going to surprise you with paintbrushes.
Woohoo! We'll invite you for a girls' paint night.
Yeah.
And that it will be.
They're going to think that we're like painting canvases. Just kidding.
Exactly.
It's our bedrooms.
Painting walls. So what I need from you guys, if you have, like, I don't know, gotten a decorator or an interior designer, or if you just have that eye yourself, please help me out.
Yes.
Let me know how you styled your home and how you found out what you like. I don't know what I like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I like a lot of things. I see a lot of things and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Too indecisive.
It's tricky. And like for some people it's just not, they don't have an eye for it. So
I certainly don't.
yeah.
I certainly don't. So this is why I need help. So
And then she gets maybe a little overwhelmed.
yes.
And then she'll be like, can you body double with me so I can
my
get something
God.
done?
Shannon has to babysit me all the time. Okay, but sorry, quickly on the I get overwhelmed part, a quick little story about 2 days ago when Shannon came home and I was like, Shannon, I almost switched the handles on our fridge. So the fridge, so the way the kitchen is set up, so you walk into it. So I'm staring into the kitchen. On my left is the fridge, and then it goes cabinets into like a little, it's like a little
like a U.
U.
Yeah.
A U. But so the fridge is against a wall and the cabinets, and it opens from the wall out to the cabinets into the entire open space, which is ass backwards. So it does need to be switched so that you can open it to the door, which would make so much more sense. You don't have to
Open it to the wall.
Or sorry, yeah,
towards
open
the
it,
wall, not towards the kitchen.
Yeah, sorry, open it towards the wall so that you're not walking around. Like you pick something out of the fridge and you have to walk around this darn door to put anything anywhere. Anyway, so I was looking at it, and because I knew I had wanted to switch the sides after I realized I couldn't afford a new fridge right away. These are the hard things about getting a house.
Yes.
I need people slapping my wrist, being like, you don't need that right away.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You have a fridge.
You have a fridge.
You don't have a water softener.
I don't, and I need that. Mom, please. Sorry for my cough. And so I looked at the fridge and I was like, oh, there's literally 2 screws on top of this door handle, and then one at the bottom. And I looked on the side where there's no handle. There's a little plug in the front. That's where the screw would go, and there's 2 screws on top. It would be so easy to put it over. And then I don't know, I just was like, oh, this seems like a lot. And little things overwhelm me and I don't know what happens, but then I shut down and I just walk away.
Yes.
So thank God I wasn't halfway through the project and walked away, because that is something that is very me to do.
Yes.
But so Shannon came home and I was like, hey, I almost did this today. And she's like, oh my God, like, let's see, what'd you do? And I was like, well, no, like I thought about it.
And then I walked away.
Yeah,
I was like, you thought, damn, I need tools.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I was like, ooh, it took me a while to change our lock on the front door to like the code lock. But
and the only reason you finished it was because, didn't you lock yourself into the house?
Yes! Oh my God, I locked myself into the house. I closed the door to try it out, but I don't know what happened, but then there was no handle on it to turn to get the
Because
little
you took the whole handle off when you didn't have to. I think you realized
I didn't.
afterwards.
I realized after.
Yeah. So she locked herself inside the house, and then called me. I had just gotten to the gym, I think. No, I'd gotten to Pilates, so I was going into a class, and she was like, I locked myself in the house, and I was like, oh my god, do you need me to come?
Thank God I was inside because it was cold out.
Yeah.
Better locked inside than out.
But you figured it out on your own.
I got some pliers. I went into the toolbox.
Yeah. I think it's just a confidence thing. I think because you've never really done those things, you just like panic and think I can't do it. Yeah. You can switch those handles over on the fridge.
I can, absolutely. Yeah. It's literally 3 screws, guys.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah. But sometimes she can do things. She just needs me there.
Yes.
Like,
so you body doubling, yes.
You had so much stuff in your room from, like, your trip.
Oh.
And it was, like, overwhelming me. And I was, like, in your room the other night, and I was like, clean this up. And you were like, can you just stay here?
I just needed you to babysit me. Yeah. I just need her there so I can do things.
I love good body doubling. We do that often.
Yeah.
So if people don't know what body doubling is, it's like where you get work done if someone else is in the room with you also doing work, sort of.
Different work. Like different work on your computer or whatever.
Or like not even work. Like
TikTok.
You could just be like scrolling, but the other person feels like motivated and like supported in doing whatever they need to get done and have been putting off.
Yeah.
It's good for ADHDers, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me.
I know it's me. Yeah.
I just let things slowly crush me.
Yeah.
Until I'm like, oh my god. Same with like tasks at work and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this is like overwhelming me. So I'm just gonna ignore it all.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put everything in a box and pretend like it doesn't exist until then I have to do something. Or until I have the motivation to do it.
Yeah.
And I choose, okay, now is the time. I'm ready in this moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm shocked because you're such an avoidant.
Yes.
And I'm such an anxious. Like, I'm anxious attachment. And I'm shocked that, like, you don't trigger me more than what you already do. No, you don't trigger me. But, like, yeah, we're so opposite in that way. We're opposite in a lot of ways. But that's wild. You're just, you avoid things. And then me, I kind of avoid them, but I'm anxious about it. I'm, like, stressing. Yeah. It's not out of mind. Like, I put things, and it's so funny, because, like, I'll put things out to remind myself to do them.
This is so funny.
And, like, the other day, I put scissors out on the ledge, on the ledge of the bathroom window, because I needed to cut a plant. But then I had to take it downstairs and, like, put it in water to propagate it, So it was just something I couldn't do at the time. I don't know why. So I left the scissors there to remind myself to do it. And then later that night, I'm like, oh, the scissors aren't there. I noticed that they weren't there. I'm like, did you put the scissors away? And you were like, yeah. Which makes sense.
Right. Well, it didn't bother me. I was just like, oh, these don't go here. So I put them away.
I was like, I put them there so I'd remember to do this thing. And she was like, oh. So I do that often. So that's like normal for me. Emma will leave things like in the living area, kitchen area, like our joint areas. And I think that she's left them there to remind herself to do it. So I don't touch it.
Absolutely not.
What I've learned is that she puts them there and then they become invisible after a while.
Yes.
And she loves that. So then what I will do is I will move them slightly. And the next thing you know, they disappear.
Yeah.
She deals with it.
When I put something down, I just haven't dealt with it yet. And then it blends into the background and it lives there for whatever amount of time it chooses to live there for.
Yeah.
And then when Shannon moves, I'm like, oh, I should take care of this.
Yeah, so it's so simple. Slight move. Yeah.
It's so simple.
I'm gonna miss living with you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna come over and there's just gonna be so much things just cluttered around, and I'm just gonna have to move them around for you so that you do them.
You just have to babysit me. I need a babysitter. Maybe we could FaceTime. Would that work too?
Yeah, we could body double FaceTime.
And we'll still have to play Dino.
You know, I would love that.
Play Dino?
No, I would love FaceTiming with you.
Yeah.
Because I have like a great fear that she's just gonna forget about me when I move out.
No, Shannon.
Anyways, the podcast is gonna keep us together.
The podcast is gonna be so fun.
Yeah. On your decorating thing, before we get on to the topic of turning 30, which is a great topic, I want to ask for your help. I know you asked everyone for decorating help.
Yes.
I have been looking at stools for weeks now.
Weeks.
I need 4 stools for my kitchen, and they need to be counter height, not bar height, and they need to be short enough. They need to be 31 inches or shorter from top to bottom so that they can fit under my counter.
You want the back to fit under
I want
as
the
well.
back to fit
Okay.
under the counter so everything can be out of the way. I don't want things pressed up against the counter. It's cluttery, it's ugly. I don't want that. So I have found the stools that I like, but they are obviously the most expensive things I've ever seen. They're like $400 a stool, and I need 4. So
They're beautiful.
they are beautiful.
They
are.
fit.
They fit. They're real leather.
We're checking boxes here.
I thought, you know what? I should give myself a chance to find something cheaper. I have yet to. So if anyone has any suggestions, float it my way. If they are $400 or less, let me know. But yeah, I'm going cross-eyed looking at stools. I've gone into HomeSense. I've gone into Bouclair. I've looked at Article. And yeah, I need help. So
Shannon does a lot of research
yeah,
before
Yeah, it's exhausting.
anything.
that's the anxious part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wish I had a little bit of that because I'm
Yeah.
more willy-nilly, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm gonna do this project, and then it overwhelms you and you just avoid it until you decide you want to do it again.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a cycle.
Yeah.
Whereas I will be like, I want to do this project, and then I over research it, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I don't do it. we get to the same point.
It's the same outcome. It's a different way of getting there, and I get there quicker. So I think I'm the winner.
Yeah, you save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I save a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
That time I can spend scrolling. Or reading. Guys, okay, one more update.
Mm-hmm.
I finished my first book of 2025
Yes.
yesterday.
Amazing. Congrats.
Yay, thank you. It was an audiobook. It's called The Perfect Marriage, which you had already read as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
I liked the audiobook because it had different voices for the woman and the male.
I do love that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't like it when the women do these not
Yeah.
man voices. And then if you guys have listened to any of Katie Roberts' audiobooks, don't.
Why?
Because the books are it's
Raunchy.
the like Disney porn.
Oh, okay.
It's weird.
Okay.
But then you'll have like the lady trying to be like Hercules with this like really low voice. And I'm like, I cannot get with this.
No.
And then it'll be the man being like, oh, I'm Tinkerbell. Like, no, stop it. Stop it. So anybody
Stop
putting
it.
an audiobook out there, just do different voices. Get 2 different readers. I know that's more cost.
Yeah.
It's just better.
Yeah.
You'll probably get more money by more people listening.
Have you listened to a dramatized version yet?
No.
Like I listened to The Fourth Wing. In the dramatized version, it literally feels like you're listening to a movie because it has a different voice for each character, and then they have background sounds, like they have the dragon noises and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more pricey on Audible, but like if you have you get like the credits or whatever. I think it takes like 2 credits or something. Or no, they split the book up, so you have to buy like the first part of the book and then the second part of the book. But I would recommend.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you would like it if you like the different voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just easier to follow, and it's like it keeps you more interested.
Mhm.
I'm not like, why are you sounding weird?
Yeah.
You know?
Before we get on the topic, I need to move because we are not comfy on the couch. We were curled up on my bed,
Curled up on
and
the
my
bed.
hip flexors are tight, which is
We were like, how are we gonna sit? And then I just sat,
you just
and Shannon's like, well, I can't cross my legs. I'm like, what in the tight hip flexors is going on over here?
yeah, they're very tight.
Where do you go when you say you go to yoga? Because I'm not convinced.
I'm not at yoga when I say I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, does this look weird? I feel like it looks weird. I'm very uncomfortable. That's okay.
You look great.
Thank you.
10 out of 10.
Thanks.
Should we jump in?
Yep. So 30s. We love talking about 30s. We talk about it with
Yeah.
our friends all the time.
We do. And our friends love their 30s as well.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because everyone says like, oh, your 20s are like the best years of your life, like college is the best years of your life. I mean, it was a good time, but like they kind of made it seem like 30s were bad, and maybe they kind of were like a couple generations ago, because like you were like in the thick of like marriage and kids. But
Right.
I love my 30s.
Yeah, it's definitely more freeing being in our 30s, I would
Mhm.
say. And like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the heck out of my 20s,
Yeah.
but there's something just so different about being in your 30s. That's just amazing. And so we will get into the good, the bad,
and the ugly.
Because it's not all rainbow and sunshine.
No, but I would say that my expectations of what my 30s would be like when I was 20 was not where I am now, but I'm actually quite happy about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that goes with like what is expected of you or what you think is expected of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just go on and live your life. And
mm-hmm. We were talking about like New Year's.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
What, like in your 20s? How that was?
I remember very specifically. I mean, obviously, like I went out every New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in school. Like we were going to the bar, we were having a party, like whatever the case was. And then I remember specifically one time, I was still in my like probably mid-20s, pretty young still, and I asked someone, maybe it was my parents, maybe it was someone else, whatever. I was like, what are you doing for New Year's? They're like, oh, nothing. I was like, well, that's lame. I was like, who doesn't have plans on New Year's? Like, you're boring. And it was so genuine. I was like, I literally was like, what's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
And looking back at that now, like, I think I have already discussed what I did for New Year's this year. Like, me and my girlfriend, we had planned to stay in. We made espresso martinis. We ordered a pizza and went and picked it up. It wasn't ready yet, so and mind you, we were wearing no makeup, had like just showered, so our hair was everywhere, like just in absolute sweats, looking homeless. Mm-hmm. Pizza wasn't ready yet, so we literally just stopped into a random like cute bar, had a drink, and then picked up our pizza and came home. Mm-hmm. We had like a dance party in the living room. It was beautiful.
I just get a video of that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. FaceTimed a couple people.
Yeah.
And it was like the best night.
Yeah. I found another difference between us, because I know when I was in my 20s and I was being dragged around on New Year's, I was like, I cannot wait until my 30s when I don't have to do this anymore. I hated New Year's. There's so much expectation with New Year's. And then it never meets the expectation.
I don't know.
Maybe you had better New Year's than I did.
I feel like I always, like, I don't remember a bad one. I feel like I always had such a blast. Like, I liked dressing up. I liked going out. Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun for the 20s. And that would be, if we were doing an episode on what was great about the 20s, maybe that would be part of it.
Yeah. And mind you, that ended, like, before the 30s came. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do think that is, like, a young to mid-20s thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's changed now.
I think 25-year-old Emma would have thought I was the lamest person. Remember I like rented a off-grid cabin?
Yes.
For New Year's and like went by myself?
Yes.
Actually, I think 30-year-old Emma thought that was lame.
No, 30-year-old Emma, I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's good.
Oh my God.
And like last year, like the year before, I was alone on purpose. Like I had just gone through a breakup and I spent New Year's alone. I ordered myself food.
Oh yeah, I left you.
Yeah. Yeah. Shannon invited me.
I did, yeah.
She invited me to come with her and I said, no thank you. I had a couple people invite me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay home. Mm-hmm. I ordered food. It was like a snowstorm. I went to go get it. I was like, well, this is dicey. Anyway, made it home safe. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I made myself a little cocktail. What was it? It was like champagne and cranberry juice. It was delicious and so festive. I watched like my favorite lame ass Netflix like love movies.
Oh,
like the Hallmark. Yeah. Watched a little bit of that. Didn't see midnight. Went to bed. Mm-hmm. And it was beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, it was freeing.
Okay, let's talk about the good. We asked our people to send in their thoughts, but we're going to talk about our thoughts first.
Yeah, because that's what you're all here to listen to our thoughts.
Yeah. I think a big thing is the best, I would say one of the best things about being 30 is having real money.
I totally
like,
agree.
Adult money.
Yeah.
Because we're basically, like, if you think about it, you and I are kind of just living the same lives, sort of, that we lived in our 20s, but we just have more money.
Yeah.
And we get to, like, do what we want with it.
Exactly. And yeah, if we like want to go to that concert, we'll get tickets. If we
We're not
wanna...
asking mom and dad to like help us pay for tickets or
yeah. Like we still have obviously limits and stuff, but like if I want to go on that trip, yeah, I'm not rich, so I'm going to do it on the cheap, but I have the money to do it.
And the vacation time.
Yeah.
And like having real money is kind of like, we're talking compared to your 20s, you have established some form of career or income that you are now living off of. So yeah, like having somewhat of a career, depending on where it's at. I don't want to like generalize, but like us in our 30s, we have careers and we have this income, and with that comes time off. And yeah, like prior to that, you were probably working temp jobs or like just getting into something, so you didn't want to be that person who like took time off because
and I was working at a gym, so like if I took a day off, I didn't get paid.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of people have these jobs where they don't get paid if they don't work.
Right.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
And people still, I'm sure, have those jobs, and that's tough.
Totally. Well, people who work for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't work for ourselves yet, unless YouTube kicks off.
Woohoo!
Please watch us on YouTube. But yeah, real money is definitely a thing. Now, with that, I will say, some of our friends have kids. Your kids kind of eat it up. So, in our 30s, not having kids is great.
Yeah.
When it comes to having money,
I would say that's a huge benefit, is not having kids in your 30s, because we get to do whatever we want. When we want. We spend our money on ourselves. Like, I'm sure you guys have heard of DINKs.
Yes, dual income, no kids.
Yeah, dual income, no kids. It's great. I get to spend my money on me, my time on me.
Are we a dual income?
We are.
I was like, wait, are you talking about us?
Yeah, us.
Life partners.
In bed together.
Stop it. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I think not having kids, like, it's so great in our 30s. And there's no right time to have kids, I feel. Like, yeah, do I sometimes wish that I would have had kids in my early 20s to get it over with? Sure. But then my 20s would have been ruined. My 30s would have been ruined too. I'm like waiting to enjoy my 50s? I mean, no. I like enjoying my time now.
Yeah. Maybe we don't want kids. We ask ourselves that daily.
It's a constant battle.
That is, maybe we could put that in the bad of the good, bad, ugly, is that when you're in your 30s and you're a bit more settled, you're maybe being a bit more selfish, you're doing what you want with your money. The thought of having kids is a change, because you're going to have to give up way more. In your 20s, you're not giving up a whole lot.
When you're in your 20s, you are, I'll say it, young and dumb. You know what I mean? We all are.
Young, dumb, and kind of poor.
Yeah. And so it's easy to just make a decision and go with it, right? I feel like we have so much more life experience now and so much more knowledge, and things are different. Knowledge is more accessible now.
Well, with TikTok and stuff.
TikTok, and then like our friends leading different lives too.
Yeah,
right.
Our friends
information from that.
Our friends have been maybe a little too honest about parenthood.
Yeah.
Love the honesty, appreciate the honesty. It has maybe scared me a little bit from having kids.
Yeah.
We're going a bit off topic here. We're talking about being in our 30s, but yeah.
And a little too honest about the realities of the giving of the birth.
Yeah.
Graphic.
Yeah.
The graphic realities.
It's not, honestly, the birth part doesn't bother me. It's the loss of identity after you have a baby.
Yeah.
Because this is segueing into one of the good things I wanted to mention. In your 30s, you are finally getting into knowing who you are.
I agree.
And like growing spiritually and all those different ways, intellectually. So in your 30s, you have a good idea of who you are. And so when I talk to my friends who say like, I have lost my identity having a kid, I'm like, ooh, that would be a big loss for me, because I have worked so hard to really get to know myself. And like,
I think everyone's so different though. Like, I would hate for you to hear that and be like, that happens to everybody.
True.
Because I feel like maybe like this one person, honestly, they're with the wrong partner. right? Maybe this other person, their kid's just shit. You know,
Don't
some kids
say that.
But like, you know what I mean? Some kids are like terrible.
Oh my god.
And they're having a hard time because their kid's awful. Maybe another person, like, they just, you know, maybe their partner doesn't help them, so it all lands on them. Maybe
Right.
there's like something else going on
Yeah.
that has like sucked that from them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And everyone's experience is totally different.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I have learned coming into my 30s without kids is that if I do have kids, I am only going to do it with like the right partner who I think is going to actually be supportive and like help out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it on my own.
Yeah.
So, partners
like us.
But being single, no kids in our 30s. Okay, like single, like not married.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok. Here we go, TikTok again.
TikTok.
Where
sponsor us.
This girl basically said, you could be potentially the first in your family line as a woman who's been able to make the decision to not be married and not have kids.
And it be like, okay.
Yeah.
And you be able to live a good life.
Yeah.
Because look at us, like, we're living good lives.
We're living decent lives.
And we're able to support...
we're living okay lives.
Mediocre.
I mean, my biggest stressor right now is, like, figuring out what stools I'm gonna buy.
Right.
Yeah, that's not bad.
We're very lucky. And we're very lucky that we are able to support ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in our lives.
Yeah. I will say, if we want to talk about societal pressures when talking about, like, marriage and kids... 28, I think, was a bad year for me. Which, it was a good and a bad. I think I had just started my career that I'm in now. So that was good. But there was this crazy pressure that I had on myself. That was like, and I had just I just ended like a 6-year-long relationship. Maybe it was longer, 7-year-long relationship. And so it was like I was starting from the beginning again. And I just remember being like, Shannon, like, you were supposed to be married by 30. You're supposed to have kids. Like, kind of like kicking myself down, like younger me was disappointed in myself, and it was this awful pressure, and I felt really shitty about myself. And then I probably dated some bad people that I didn't need to be dating because I did feel so shitty about myself, and like, thank God we didn't go further. But the day I turned 30, it, like, lifted off my shoulders. And I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was expecting, oh my god, 30, ugh, dread. And honestly, I turned 30, like, in COVID. We were, like, 4 months into COVID.
Yeah.
And Emma got COVID, so me, her, and our other roommate were locked down. Couldn't even go anywhere for my birthday.
Patient 0.
But we had a lovely party at our house. Anyways, it, like, released me. It's like I had, like, freedom from, like, these, like, societal pressures to be married and have kids by 30, or you're like an old maid.
I totally agree. And I think 28, I felt the same.
Yes, because you were so close to 30.
Age. It's like, yes, 30 is looming. And I don't know where we learned this, that the 30s you're dead.
Yes.
Who taught us this? Because we are more alive than we've ever been. Mm-hmm. Again, because of all of these things that we are able to do and have access to and whatever we want to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is so freeing. And I felt very similar. So at 28, I too got into the job that I'm in now. And
look at us.
Look at us. And yeah, 28 was... It like 30 was looming, and it was scaring me.
It was.
And
you already felt behind because, like, you were like 28 and I'm just getting my, like, forever career.
Yes.
Like, pull yourself together.
Yes. And I think I was single at the time.
Yeah.
Starting over. We were actually the same person.
Yeah.
And then I remember thinking in my 20s, maybe a little bit earlier in my 20s, but I was like, I definitely want kids, but if I don't have them by the time I'm 30, I'm not having them.
Crazy.
What a wild thing to think. Like, who taught this girl that?
Yeah.
Who taught me that?
Society.
That's so crazy.
Movies.
And my mom had me after she was 30.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I'm so sorry, Mom. I told her once, I was like, I like almost yelled at her for having me after 30. I was like, why would you? Because like...
That's rude.
Yes. Because I thought that having kids in your 30s was like old. And it's literally not.
It's not.
It's not. You have your entire 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you're in your 20s, you're thinking, oh my God, I have no time left. Once I hit 30, that's it. But then
and you're seeing people your age get married, start having families, and you're like, oh my God, when's this gonna happen for me?
Yeah.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. I think too, with the freedom come 30, I like was able to really like be like, oh, do I even want that?
Yeah.
Do I want to get married? Do I maybe my life is I'm gonna have like long loving relationships, but like multiple. Maybe I'm not gonna have kids. Like, do I even want kids? Like, I was finally able to like look at myself and be like, do you want any of these things? Like, were you just told that you had to do this, and then you put this time limit on yourself for some reason? Like, and if I had made the decision at 28 to marry the person that I was with at the time and have kids with them, I think I would be divorced today.
Yeah.
And I much rather the life I'm living right now than to have gone through all that.
I would rather not settle.
Yes.
Just for...
But look at us now.
Look at us now.
Mid-30s. Not settling.
But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You settle and then you're unhappy.
Yeah.
And I get it. Things change over time. You can be with the right person and then things do change and whatever. We all know that. But yeah, I definitely know the people that I was with before. It wasn't it. For whatever the reason. Whether it's, you know, a crazy bad reason or just kind of, you know, there's reasons for everything.
And I think what it makes you do is and this could be a bad thing, but it makes you kind of learn to rely on yourself a bit more. I think with the societal pressure of like getting married, there's this ideal of like, I'm gonna find a man who is gonna like support me.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, if there's a man out there that wants to, no, I'm just kidding. But like
e-transfers are open.
But like, you learn to be able to depend on yourself and rely on yourself for that.
Yeah.
And you also learn how to lean on your friends in that sort of way too. Like how we have sort of become like what we like to joke around and say life partners, but actually we have made like decisions together.
Shannon will pick me up from the mechanic. We will borrow each other's cars when we need to.
Yes.
Like
we go grocery shopping together.
Yeah. Like these are things that partners do together.
But we have been able to do that in our friendship and living together. And it's still a fulfilling life.
And we've discussed, so when she does leave, we're still gonna be the people to pick each other up at the mechanic.
Yeah, because we're still gonna need that.
We still are partners. Like what? Are we just gonna live alone and then like walk everywhere?
Uber? Absolutely not.
No. We still support each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think getting into the 30s, there's so much more freedom and so many less fucks given.
Yes. I think someone sent us that.
I think a few people sent us that.
Yeah. Like, you don't care. Like, with the whole, like, turning 30 and, like, having it all, the weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
There is still, like, the societal pressures, but, like, you don't care.
Because you also, like you said, you realize, hey, the whole made-up timeline doesn't matter. No. It's not real. What do I want?
Yeah. What's
good for me? And how am I gonna do that?
Totally.
Yeah.
I think a big thing that I did, and I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but like my growth spiritually was like huge in my 30s.
Yeah.
That was part of maybe like figuring out who I was. But like, yeah, I wasn't tied down with like a partner or like kids. So I was able to go do retreats if I wanted to, or, you know, sign up for, like, courses and stuff that I wanted to do. And, yeah, I didn't have anyone to, like, have to be like, can I please go away for a weekend? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was able to really focus on that. Okay, fly. Wow, get out of my face. If you're not watching, a fly just flew into my face. I overwatered my snake plant, so now there is a little fruit fly in here. So,
we'll have to squash that.
Lovely. But as I was saying, it gives you a chance to kind of put your energy into other things that you want to do.
Yeah, and I think a lot in your 20s, we're still concerned about what other people think. Quite a lot,
especially like your parents.
Which I still care what you guys think.
I do too.
But, you give in your 20s, you think a lot more about that kind of stuff, what other people think of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you get into your 30s, you're like, why did I even care about this?
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, in my 20s, would I have ever thought that I would have gone out to a place to get a drink looking like a homeless person and be totally cool with it?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never would have thought that. The way we look going to the grocery store, before I'll speak for myself.
Speak for
maybe.
yourself, no. That's where I go husband shopping.
right. Well, the men in the grocery store, as we've talked about, are incompetent, so
They annoy me.
maybe not.
So just kidding.
But yeah, I feel like in the 30s, I'm just like, I literally don't care. I dress for myself. If I want to feel pretty for myself, I will wear makeup. I will dress up. I will look nice. But it's literally for me because it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Let's call that freedom from the male gaze.
Yes.
So let's talk about it a bit.
Yeah.
In your 20s, you are like, because you have the pressure, I think it's because you have the pressure that you're like, you need to find a husband, you need to like start a family. Everything you put on when you're going out is like for men.
Yeah.
And like maybe we're just speaking for ourselves. And
no,
maybe,
I've seen this on TikTok too.
maybe like Gen Z, maybe they're like more evolved. But for us, speaking from a millennial's point of view, we were dressing for the male gaze.
Very much.
Like, we were going out in the winter wearing short skirts. That's for men.
Pencil skirts, cleavage tops.
Wearing our business attire to the club.
Our statement necklaces.
A blazer.
Oh my god, that was my favorite.
I loved when I wore a blazer because then I wasn't freezing in line.
I'm not gonna lie though, that silhouette, my body, they go hand in hand. The pencil skirt with that tight top and then like a blazer that like works with your curves.
But then also black nylons.
Right.
Yeah. It was a vibe.
And the boot heels.
Mm.
Loved the boot heels.
Yeah, they were comfy.
They were comfy.
For standing in line.
Yes.
But yeah, you were putting that on to like attract men. Yeah. Now, I am wearing whatever I want. I wear that big stupid coat that only women compliment me on, that men think looks like a robe, like a house coat.
It looks amazing on you.
I got so many compliments yesterday on it, and it was women, but like, yeah, I'm not dressing for men anymore because I don't have that pressure to, find a husband or a boyfriend or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's so fun dressing and doing things for yourself.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, isn't it so nice to catch yourself in the mirror and be like,
Yes.
Hello.
But here's an example. Emma, like when she goes to the gym, maybe in her 20s, she probably put like a full face of makeup on. I don't know. Maybe you did. But like...
Probably. I don't remember.
I remember like lots of girls did. And if I was a makeup guru, I probably would have too. But I don't know how to do makeup. So anyways, Emma would, in her 20s, go with a full face of makeup on. Now, you don't really ever wear makeup.
No.
But then the other day, you were like feeling shitty about yourself. So you're like, I'm going to put a little bit of makeup on when I go to the gym. That was for you.
Yeah, it made me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I've been feeling a little bit off the last couple weeks, just as a sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I decided...
So be kind if you're watching our video.
Yeah, be nice.
God.
Tell me I'm pretty. Shannon.
Yes?
Tell me I'm pretty.
You're so pretty.
Thanks. Sorry.
Emma's still a little sick.
The cough is still here.
She says she's not contagious anymore.
I'm not.
But,
I Googled it. Google told me I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been not feeling myself lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to put on some makeup and feel good about myself. And guess what? I did that for me, and I loved it for me, and I felt better.
Yeah.
And I lifted heavier by doing that.
Okay.
So, I mean...
You were like, this mascara
absolutely
is making me lift 10 pounds more.
Honestly, if you feel good about either, like, whatever it is you're wearing or doing or whatever the case is...
I do better when I'm in, like, a really cute fit.
Exactly. And it's for you. And I love that.
Mm-hmm. But I also... When I was a kid, I watched the show Big Brother.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. Like, when it first came out, like, first season.
There's, like, 100 seasons now.
Yeah. So, when I first watched that, this is way off topic, but there's cameras everywhere. So then, I was like, oh, what if, like, there was cameras everywhere in my house? So, sometimes I would pretend like I was on, like, a show.
Okay.
So, if this, like, I don't think that now, but when I was younger, I did. And my cousins and I would kind of, like, play as if that, anyways, weird. Like, we'd do baking shows, like, as if, anyways, doesn't matter. So, but now, if I'm, like, out in public and I have, like, at the gym and I have a cute outfit on, I'm like, I'm on TV. I'm lifting heavy. I'm putting on a show.
It is my world.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a weird story. Sorry for...
No, I like it. I like it.
One more thing I want to talk about, like, being 30, like, a good thing about being 30, is, like, the diversity of your friend group. And what I mean by that is, like, when you're in your 20s, you are usually, like, in college, and all of your friends are in college.
Yeah.
So you're all kind of doing the same thing. And then kind of, like, as you age out of 20s, that's when people start branching off and, like, doing other things. So when you're in your 30s, your friends are living, like, completely different lives from you. And it's just, it's fun to be a part of. Like, you know, I have, like, so many nieces and nephews because of this. And, like, you know, your friends are just going through different things. And it's just, it brings more variety to your life. And I just love that.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool about hearing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. And, like, you know, they're, like, our friends that are married, like, the stuff that they're dealing with, they're, like, planning weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds stressful. They're asking us to be in the weddings. That's stressful. But, like, and then the ones who are having kids for the first time, like, it's crazy because, like, they're meeting all these milestones that, like, we thought about in our 20s.
Yeah.
And I think if this were happening in my 20s, I would almost be jealous of it or, like, you know, feel like, oh, I want that too.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in my 30s, we've talked about it, like, the freedom of, like, not having that pressure. Now you get to just enjoy it.
It's so easy to just be happy for everybody.
Yes.
Because we all are hitting our own milestones in different ways. I do hate the word milestone because I feel like it just, like, puts pressure. But, like, we're all doing things that are so exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, my friends are excited for me.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
I'm your friend. I'm excited.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
You know, they do love swiping on dating apps because a lot of them never had dating apps.
There you go.
So, yeah, I bring the fun.
You bring the fun.
But yeah, I think that's a really cool thing. And I think that you touched on it. Like, the jealousy goes away too in your 30s. Like, you can like what's going on for someone and also want that for yourself, but it doesn't take away from you being happy for them. And that's, like, such a good feeling.
Yeah, and it doesn't make your life any less valuable. Like, we've talked about this a lot. I find that in certain areas, people who, let's say, for example, have kids, they kind of get treated differently and have more benefits and stuff like that. And that kind of annoys me when people are like, oh, I have kids, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, well, that's your choice.
Yeah, you have this job and you made the choice to have kids.
Yeah.
So lie in the bed you made?
Exactly. But I'm not even sure where I was going with that, to be quite honest, at this time. But I think that people can see us in our lives doing our things and be just as happy for us as well. Because I think, again, that people sometimes with kids shit on people who don't have kids. Be like, oh, well, you don't have this. But I feel like the people in my life, at least, are like, wow, you're doing all these cool things. Like, you just bought a house, so proud of you. Like, you know what I mean? They can also be excited for us and we can be excited for them. And everyone's just kind of like... Yeah. I
love it.
Oh.
It's way less stressful. 20s, if you were listening and you're in your 20s and you're stressed out, just look forward to your 30s because
it's so great.
It's so great. You get adult money. You get to do what you want to do, and you don't have to, like, speak to anyone about it. Like,
you don't have to, and, like, when we say you don't have to ask anybody, I mean, like, we're talking about our parents.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, we don't have to get our parents' approval for anything anymore.
No. Like, when I travel, they're not like, do you have money for, like, they're just like, and I don't think they ever really did that to me, but I think in my 20s I was, like, stressing, and I was like, oh, what are they going to think if I, like, go on this trip or whatever.
It's pressures that we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, my parents are also, like, wildly supportive of everything.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to worry about that because you're in your 30s. You have probably a job that's making decent money and, like, yeah, you're just doing what you want to do. So if you're in your 20s and you're stressed out, just know that it gets better.
And you have so much time.
so much
Your
time.
life does not end.
Do not feel like you have to lock it down with whoever you're with
Yeah.
in your late 20s. Please don't do that.
Take your time with each other.
Yeah. Unless it's like, you know, whatever. I'm not saying you can't do that, but like, don't feel like you have to. If it's like, I'm gonna marry this person because I feel like I have to and it's the time and we should, that's probably not a good decision.
Just,
yeah.
Your life is not over.
No.
It's actually just beginning.
Yeah. And can I do a hot take? I'm going to.
Do it. Yes. Sorry, you
You were
ready for
just
my
like,
answer?
yeah,
Rhetorical question.
just staring at me blankly. Okay, maybe I'm not going to do a hot take. Hot take. I think that we should go back to parenthood being more cult-like and not sharing information.
Right. Right.
It.
We know too much.
We know too much now. That it's like it's a big decision.
It is.
I think before people didn't talk about like the bad things about parenthood and childbirth and all of that, and they just said, "Oh, it's beautiful, it's a wonderful thing," which I think it is. But there's a lot that comes with it.
You've got to be prepared.
Yeah. So.
And I think that's maybe the beauty about being in your 20s is that you make these rash decisions and you just deal with it.
Yeah.
You just live your life and you don't know any different.
Mm-hmm.
We know different.
We have a really nice home.
It's nothing sticky. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I want kids. That is something that I want.
Yes.
But it is a big decision.
But
and things will be sticky, and I hate sticky things.
And we're enjoying life now.
I love my life.
Because
right
I
now.
feel like in our 20s we were stressing, like, we don't have it, we need to da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
We're enjoying life now. And, like, when it comes, it comes.
And what are we doing being like, oh, I'll wait till, like, after I have kids. I'll wait till this.
No.
If we had waited till after we had kids for anything, we wouldn't have done anything.
If I had to wait for a man to plan a romantic New Year's, I would be still waiting. So that's why I went and did one by myself.
Yes. This is why we do things for ourselves.
Yeah. And that's why I went to Thailand by myself. Because I was like, if I have to wait... This was when I was, like, in my mid-20s, and I was like, if I have to wait for a friend who has the money to go and the time off work, like, it's just not going to happen. So I just went by myself. Like, I definitely stand by doing that.
That's so beautiful, Shannon. It is. I love it. Guys, moral of the story, you do you, and enjoy it. And your life is not over at 30.
Yeah. Okay, should we get into the bad?
Let's
bad of being 30. Okay, I want to say the one bad thing about being 30 is... you have less time with your friends. This was really sad for me because, like, when you're in college, that brings you together. You're like in college, you're going to classes together, you're going to the same parties, you're doing everything with your friends. And then once you get out of college, then you're like doing like the work thing. Yeah. But I think like even then you're still sort of seeing each other more because you don't have husbands, wives, kids, and like other things, or like, you know, sick parents that you got to deal with. Like, you don't have any of that. Life is still pretty like easy. And then you hit your 30s and bam, you are like crafting up these calendars with all these like, okay, you're free for like 6 hours on this day, but I'm not, like, it's insane trying to plan a day to see your friends.
We're trying to even, me, Shannon, and Steph are trying to plan a spin class.
Yeah.
And we're just like tossing out dates. We're like, nope, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this.
Yeah.
We landed on a day. We found a day.
We'll see if it happens.
But it's hard.
It is hard. One thing I will say, so with my group of friends from like college, we do like pretty often like see each other. We try to make it like, we make it a thing. And what we started doing, I don't know, like maybe a year ago, is like we do Waffle Wednesdays.
I love this.
It's like
so fun.
It was like a TikTok that we had seen and we're like, we should do this. But basically every Wednesday we send like a short video kind of updating them on our lives, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you're getting updated on like the little things, you know, like not just like, oh, I bought a house. Like, it's like, oh, like, I don't know. I was going to say I went to the dentist. That's not important. But like, oh, my cat's sick and I like am dealing with this. And it's good to know these things about your friends. And like, I went from living with these people to like only seeing them a few times a year. So it is nice to like keep up in that way.
Yeah.
I would totally recommend. And then I moved this on with like other friend groups. Like I do it with that group of friends and then some other girlfriends.
Why don't you do it with me?
Because I see you every day, Emma.
Well, Could we do it when you move out?
Yeah, we'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love watching your Waffle Wednesday.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm involved. I don't participate, but I watch it, and it's great.
Yeah, we just watched a couple right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's not Wednesday. Is it? No.
No.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter what day you pick. Just do it.
But Waffle Wednesday does have a nice ring to it.
Yeah. So that would be the one bad thing that I really noticed is less friendship time. What about you?
Well, mine is a little bit more less sentimental.
Okay. Hit me.
I think that just our bodies change.
Oh. Yes.
And I don't know. All of you in your 30s, I feel like we all feel the same about this. You let us know. But I feel like we're all getting broken easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had back surgery, so I agree.
Exactly. I am like, even let's say like, cause I just like went off snowboarding and stuff. I'm terrified of injury, guys.
Yeah.
When I play hockey or when I go snowboarding, whenever I do any activity, I am keeping it PG.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am so terrified of injury, especially now that I'm older. When I'm at the gym, yeah, I lift quite heavy, but I'm too scared to even like go heavier or like go into a lower rep range. Like my minimum rep range, let's say it'll be on my last set, I will go, like I won't go any lower than 6. And that's like an accident going to 6 reps. So that's heavy enough that I can only do 6 reps.
Right.
That's pretty heavy. Yeah,
that is heavy.
I try to stay like 8 and above because I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of hurting myself.
Well, we know people who have like injured themselves from XYZ. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
And that terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
And things are creaking and cracking,
mm-hmm.
and my skin is changing, guys. I just booked my Botox appointment for tomorrow. It's been like 4 or 5 months, and maybe this is why I'm struggling the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like
because your forehead isn't frozen.
Yes.
Do it. It's pretty good.
It's not great.
It's not like mine.
But I just feel like things change,
mm-hmm.
and it's like kind of wild to see that change, and it's a big, I don't know, it's a big mind fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say, like, in my 20s, if I gained a little weight, I would just stop eating ice cream and, like, maybe go to the gym once a week, and I would drop pounds, like, so fast.
Crazy.
I have been carrying, like, 20 extra pounds since my surgery because, like, I just was so immobile for a while, and I just, like, I guess I gained weight.
Which is fair.
Yeah, but I am tracking my macros. I am going to the gym a few times a week. I'm walking 10,000 steps a day. I'm doing so much stuff, and like I am bored even just talking about it right now. Like I can't stand this stuff. And I am not losing a single pound. And I'm so frustrated, and I think it's just because I'm 30.
It's hard. Our metabolism is different. Our hormones are different. Our bodies just like respond differently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The same thing you did 10 years ago isn't going to work today.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which is so hard to deal with.
Right. So if you're in your 20s and you're stressed and you're excited for 30, just get to your goal weight.
Yeah, literally. And guys, like my arthritis, I have orthotics. I need them. There was a point in my life, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, and I was running a lot. And then Shannon's looking at this fly that's running around the room. And so I was doing like a 8-kilometer run or something, and all of a sudden I literally couldn't walk. Anyway, I was scared. I had this thing that I forget what it's called, and you like can't get rid of it. Something to do with your feet.
Okay.
But anyway, didn't have that, thank God. Went to the chiropodist, got orthotics. It changed my life forever. Where was I going with this? I'm losing my train of thought.
Your arthritis.
My arthritis, yes. So anyway, every year I go to the chiropodist and I get new orthotics.
What is a chiropodist?
It's the foot doctor.
I thought it was podiatrist.
It's definitely something for this person. But I think podiatrist is also something.
All right, cool.
We can follow up
New
later.
word for me.
Yeah.
Continue.
And so I go yearly to get new orthotics, and 2 years ago, so that's a while ago, he said I have the arthritis of like a 50-year-old or 60-year-old in my big toe. And no wonder, it freaking hurts so bad, guys.
I thought you were gonna tell me something way worse. You're like, my big toe.
No, guys, it hurts to walk so bad. Okay, so
Okay.
when we were away, we went snowshoeing, and the snowshoes, first of all, I had to rent winter boots, which they were as thin as paper. Thank God I had my heated socks and my little heat pads on my feet. But the bottom thing that like crunches into the snow to grab you on there was like hitting up on the bottom of my big toe, right where my freaking arthritis hurts the most. And it was in so much pain after that. And I have arthritis in my fingers. Mom, it's not because I cracked my knuckles, I swear. I'm pretty sure there's no science that correlates them.
Yeah. So this stuff kind of catches up to you once you're in your 30s.
It catches up.
Mid 30s.
Mid 30s. Somewhere in the 30s.
Somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, it does. The body starts to ache
It
way
does.
more.
It
like
does.
like you just sleep funny and your neck is frozen for the day.
Literally.
What is that? I could sleep. I had a guy, like a friend group guy in college. He slept on like the stoop of our stairs.
No problem.
Right? Like you would just drop and sleep wherever at like a house
In a
party.
bathtub.
Yes. And you'd wake up ready to go.
Not any longer.
I have all these pillows and I like have a certain way that I sleep, yet I still wake up uncomfortable and sore.
Yeah. Sleeping has become an extreme sport.
Yeah, it literally is.
Yeah.
I have never invested this much money in sleeping stuff ever in my life. Definitely not in my 20s.
Yeah.
30s are great, guys, but like there are some downers.
And I think there's one more kind of not great thing. Again, I would say there's more great than bad, but
yeah.
all the decision making. I'm
Yes.
tired.
Yes.
Like, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight again? Like, I literally don't care. I literally don't care. And this is why I have breakfast for dinner all the time, because it's so easy. And I'm not even talking about just that decision. Like, literally all of the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Every decision is on you.
Yeah. Which was, it's been kind of nice, like, having, like, us as life partners is, like,
Yeah.
we're able to, like, kind of help with decisions when we're, like the other day, I just didn't know, I wanted a pancake, but I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And you just made me a pancake because I was just...
Yeah, you were
Having a
about to have a meltdown.
Yeah.
And I know how that is.
Yeah.
And I don't like being in that spot, so I was like, I don't want you to feel that way.
Yeah, you literally said that. You're like, I know this feeling. Let me just make you a pancake.
Yeah. It was like a pancake. It was a protein pancake.
It was a
guys.
double protein pancake.
Yeah. I got this new pancake mix. It's like one of the is it Kodak?
Yeah. It had chocolate chips in it and I liked it.
Yes. And then you just add protein to it. You can add collagen.
And more chocolate chips.
More chocolate chips.
Mhm.
I add an egg. I add vanilla extract.
Mm.
Guys,
It was great.
They're amazing. And I have calorie-free pancake syrup because I'm a psycho.
Yeah.
And it's honestly amazing.
Yeah, I think
Come to us for more recipes.
when you're in your 20s, with you saying like make decisions, when you're in your 20s, maybe you're in college and you have a meal plan, so you don't even have to think about what you're eating. You're just going down to the cafe getting food.
Yep.
Then, like me, when you live off campus, you can eat craft dinner every night and it doesn't affect your body.
Yep.
Unfortunately, in your 30s, you have to track your macros
Yeah.
and like watch what you eat, because
One bad night means literally 5 pounds on my body. I don't know how it works,
Yeah.
but that's literally what happens.
yeah.
The amount of water retention that I have after literally one meal out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? It's also, sorry, you know what also is so great about being 30?
Tell me.
Is I can make it better myself at home.
Oh,
And
my god.
I thought my parents were crazy. I was like, I want to go out. They're like, we have food at home, which is what every parent says. And now I'm like, I can do this better at home. The amount of homemade
Yeah.
burgers I make is unreal. And homemade fries, what am I doing getting this out somewhere? And you know exactly what's going into it at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how old am I
I
for
think-
saying that? I don't know, but
Like, I love a Starbucks iced mocha.
Yeah.
But I do, like, when I think about going and getting it, I'm like, I'd just rather make it at home, because then I add, like, my protein in it,
exactly.
and it just tastes better.
yeah.
Like, I love it, like, but, like, yeah, I can just make it at home for half the price.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that is good.
when you're making stuff, so my friends and I, we also like to have pizza nights where we just like make our own pizza. So we buy the dough, we buy all the toppings. I can put whatever I want in
Mhm.
whatever quantity I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I can make my own dipping sauce, and then I can have so much of it, not this little baby thing that
Yeah.
you have to like try to share.
Mm-hmm.
That's $3 extra.
Yeah.
I love that
is true.
so much.
That is a good point.
It is a good point.
Mm-hmm. I think we should end with the ugly. We have allotted one thing as the worst part of being 30.
Yes. Which
You wanna
is,
go?
yeah. So we think that the societal pressures that are put on especially women
Mm-hmm.
of our age, that is the ugly part of being 30.
And like, mind you, we did say that we have the freedom from that. You feel the weight lifted off your shoulders, but it doesn't change the fact that like other people around you
Yeah.
have expectations
And like
for you.
when you go to a gathering, a work party, a Christmas with your family, oh, who are you dating? Are you guys gonna have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah. All these questions, and for me, I'm like, I have so much more value
Yeah.
than that stuff.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask me about where I've traveled?
Mhm.
Why don't you ask me about what hobby I have gotten really into lately?
Yeah.
And like what skill I've learned, what are my interests? Like I'm so much, or even like how is my job doing?
Yeah.
You know, there's just, I feel like we're so much more
Mm-hmm.
than only that.
Yeah. And I will say too, when you're not married, so like maybe you're not single, but you're not married, you sometimes kind of get uninvited to things. So like my friends are like really like my friends are really good at inviting me. Like and they are like, you're not the fifth wheel, Shan. But like in other times, like you may not get invited because it's not like they're doing a couple thing
Mm-hmm.
and you're not a couple, or you like don't get an extra invite or anything like that, and that's really kind of shitty. You're like, oh, because like I'm not married, I'm not important enough to like, you know, bring someone or whatever. So yeah, it's a bit of a downer, but it's just kind of what comes with the societal pressures that are out there.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what else to name that, but yeah.
And I think we are, in general, like, again, the non-married, non-family yet, less celebrated.
Totally.
But again, our friends are great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general. Like, our friends are great, I think.
Yes.
And, like, our friends are so happy for our accomplishments and everything like that. But I think just in general, like,
Mhm.
society doesn't celebrate us.
No,
Or,
like there's bridal showers and baby showers
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, oh, but like I'm doing cool things, you know?
yeah.
Like we should have a podcast party.
This is freaking cool.
Yeah. We should make a thing like if we get to so many like views or something that we like throw like a little party for ourselves.
I'd
and
love
people have
that.
to come.
So, guys, you should share us with everybody.
So we can have a party.
So we can have a party. You'll be invited.
But we did talk about, even before the podcast, this summer we were thinking of throwing our like a duo birthday party / breakup party. What were we gonna name it? Like how we're like separating. We're no longer like living together.
Yeah.
And it's our birthday.
Yeah.
So we were gonna kind of have a party for that, just to like kind of like
We didn't come up with a title yet.
No, we didn't come up with a title, but like it was just to kind of just celebrate us. Yeah.
Yeah, to have a party and do a registry, because now we're gonna need things.
We're doing a registry, guys.
Yeah. What happens
If we never get married,
Yeah,
then we're not getting presents.
exactly.
So
And people are doing registries when they're already living together and have everything.
yeah, and we actually
And we
need
actually need
things.
things.
That could be a whole other podcast episode.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I don't know. 30s are great.
Yeah.
We said all the good reasons, and like you get free from the societal pressures internally.
Yeah.
There's still some external stuff that you have to deal with, which is like it's kind of shitty, but
But
I
we
don't
learned
know.
how to deal with it.
yeah.
Okay, I want to go through what our listeners
Okay.
commented and talked about. Okay, so
Thank you for sending them in, by the
Yeah,
way.
thanks, guys.
We did get a lot of feedback, so that was fun.
So I'll just name a few. This one is super funny and totally true. My frontal lobe is fully developed.
True!
It's true. Your
Yeah.
husband's probably isn't because he's leaving the cupboards open. Also, men, apologize to your wives
Immediately. We got so many responses in our DMs saying, oh my god, ha ha ha, my husband always leaves the cupboards open.
It's not funny.
This is an epidemic. What is going on?
It's literally not funny. I'm not laughing.
Close the cupboards.
Okay, what else? Having money. Absolutely. The adult money is real.
It's
and
right.
we have more knowledge about what to do with it, how to grow it, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because again, we're financial girlies.
Financial girlies.
Okay. Knowing I'll be okay if I walk away from things. So people, jobs, etc.
That is a big one.
I love that.
Yeah, because I think also in your 20s, you're maybe just more anxious, but like a breakup or a friend breakup just seems like much bigger and like more dramatic than
everything's the end of the world.
Yeah, but in the 30s, I guess it's kind of more in your control. Like
Yeah.
you're like, no, like I can't have this in my life.
Yes.
I choose to not have this. This is my boundary.
This
Boundaries.
is hard and it will be hard, but I will get through on the other side because this is not right for me.
Yeah.
And I know I don't know, maybe I don't know what's right, but I know this is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love it.
And boundaries are huge, like in your 30s.
Yeah.
Being like, oh no, I'm going to set a boundary. Like I'm not dealing with this behavior.
We should do a
from
full
friends, family.
episode on
We could.
boundaries.
I say boundaries are great. I am working on it. I'm not great at them.
We're all a work in progress.
Yes.
Okay. Finding my purpose.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
Love that.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on that a bit.
Yeah.
Finding out who you are, purpose, it's all kind of together.
Yeah. And I think once you get into your 30s, you really you don't feel like you have to follow other people. I feel like when we're young, we want to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
We want people to like us.
Yeah.
And when you get older, you realize I want to like me.
Yeah. And I think that kind of, have you seen like a lot, and I notice this a lot on TikTok, there's like these people who like worked really hard, became lawyers, and then got out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like in your 20s, and I can sort of relate with the job I'm in now. Like in 20s, you're like, okay, this is the job I'm gonna get, and there's like all this pressure, and you work so hard to get to it, and then you hit your 30s, and then you learn your purpose, and it maybe doesn't align with what you worked so hard to get.
Or it just changes, like maybe even just how you think about it. You're like, okay, I'm happy in my job, like it's fine, and I am earning my living, and that's kind of the whole point of a job.
A paycheck versus like your identity.
Yeah, and I don't think your job should be your identity.
It shouldn't.
Maybe our podcast will be though.
Yes.
Okay, I love this one. Not giving a single fuck about other people's expectations. I know we've touched on that.
Yeah.
I have to repeat it.
Yeah.
It's
really great.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
And you significantly stop same line, but you significantly stop giving a rat's ass about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're unbothered.
We don't care.
By mid 30s, you've kind of seen it all, and you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that allows you, like you already touched on, to be happy for others.
Yes.
We're happy for ourselves. We're happy for others.
Yeah.
We're all just doing our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I started actually living in my 30s. 30s over 20s any day.
Yes.
We are here for this comment. We love it.
We agree.
Yeah. So those are just some of them. I thought that was really fun. Oh,
Thanks,
one more. Hold on, one more. Let me find it.
I know what one you're looking for.
Yeah. Feeling more comfortable with saying no.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I feel like I identify with that, especially during COVID. I don't know, a switch flipped in me, and like when it comes to notifications, all this stuff, I get overwhelmed and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we just have too much access to each other, and if I'm not in a headspace to like deal with something, I can't.
Right.
And yeah, like saying no to things, to going out, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna be too tired. I literally need to put myself first, and I can't. Love to be there for you, but sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, I can't do this because I can't afford it. Sorry. Or, you know what, I don't want to do that thing you invited me to because I don't want to.
Yeah. Maybe don't say that to them, but
like it's not something that I am gonna put value on, so I don't feel like it.
Yeah. Because I think in the 20s you're trying to figure out who you are, so you are trying all these things. You are more of a yes person. 30s, you kind of know what you want and who you are, so you can just say no to the things that don't align with you.
Yeah. And
I love that.
That goes along with like relationships. Saying no to a relationship that just isn't working.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
those are some of them. I thought that was really fun. Thank you for your responses.
Mm-hmm.
And keep them coming with everything we ask you, please.
Yes. We love the engagement.
Yeah, we like hearing from you. It's
Yeah.
nice to hear other points of view, and
And
we want to share that.
Where can they hear us? Hear from us. Where can they...
Where-
What am I trying to say here?
Where can
You find us.
we hear from you?
That's it.
Okay, you guys can find us on Instagram at The Girly Hour. This is going to be posted on YouTube, guys. If you want to take a look, if you want to take a little peek and see, I don't know, even just what the voices are attached to.
I always, when I listen to a new podcast, I like obsessively look up the people because I just like I need to put a face to the voice.
Yeah.
So
We were unsure if our voices are different enough, so if you have trouble differentiating, head to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's at The Girly Hour as well.
yeah.
So yeah, check us out online. Like, follow, and share, please. Subscribe as well.
Yeah.
All the things.
We're new to this.
We're
but
new.
Just click thumbs up and
Click
hearts
the buttons.
and subscribes.
Yeah, but yeah, we want to thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We've been having so much fun,
Mm-hmm.
and we're so excited for our upcoming episodes. We're not gonna tell you too much, but
We're definitely gonna do one on Valentine's Day.
it's definitely the love month.
Yeah. So
The love month, as I hold Shannon's hand in the most awkward way possible.
So did we solve turning 30?
I think that turning 30 solves your life.
I think so.
To be quite, just like how color solves you,
Yeah,
turning 30 gives you so many solutions.
totally.
So I think there's so many great things. Yeah, there's always some bad with the good, but I think overall being in your 30s is just so beautiful and freeing. And guys, if you're in your 20s, do not fret. You have all the time in the world, and it's beautiful up here. Can't wait to see you soon, suckers.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Honestly, 20s were great though when we were in them.
They were.
But like it just gets better.
Just don't be scared. It gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't screw the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So on that note, until next time.
Problem solved.
Oh.
Shannon! Ready? We have to do it like we did in the first episode. Okay,
Okay.
ready? 1, 2, 3. Problem solved.
Bye guys.
Bye.